G'day guys, Cam Wild Touring. It's been a while between videos. Whole family got smashed with gastro. Then we had the Perth Caravan and Camping show, which went really well. And then, unfortunately, I had to go back to work for a bit. But this video right now, I'm heading out to a spot I haven't been to for a while. It's not too far from home. Basically, I just need to get a night under canvas. It's been a while. It's been a good few weeks, and I'm hanging out for it. So Percy's riding shotgun with me. We're in campfire season now, so I'm really looking forward to having a campfire tonight. I've got something cool to cook up, and I've got a really beautiful place to camp. Pretty late in the afternoon. Hopefully we get there before dark. Things have changed, eh, Percy, since the last time we were here. That bridge certainly never used to be there. It used to be a water crossing, a seasonal thing that you'd only really do in summer, because in winter it got a bit hectic. Anyway, hopefully we get this spot I'm after to ourselves, because it's not really big enough to share. Come on. Oh, we got the spot to ourselves. I'm wrapped. Wasn't too sure when I saw how easy it was getting in here now. But this is a cracking spot. It's actually cleaned up a lot since the last time I was out here too. I'll quickly show you our little view we're gonna have. Check that out. Rope swing there. Too cold for me. Actually, they've done quite a good job with this little campsite. Someone's actually chiseled out stairs down to the river there, and it's quite deep. You can definitely swim in there. It's just too cold for me this time of the year. And it's a lot tidier than it used to be. There used to be quite a few fire pits. It's been reduced down to one now, which is great. A lot of the toilet paper and cans and stuff. I mean, we always took out a few, you know, like a few bags of rubbish, but someone's done a big clean up here, and it shows. Anyway, I'm going to get Percy on a lead, and I'm going to get the fire going straight away because I want some coals to cook some tea. Quite keen to have a go lighting this fire with my homemade fire lighters. It's a toilet paper tube stuffed full of lint from the dryer, and then I've been pouring fat or oil from the fry pan when we're finished cooking, or from the air fryer and stuff like that. Not my idea. I pinched this from TikTok or Instagram or somewhere else. I can't remember where I saw it. Probably smelled delicious while it's burning, I imagine. I don't think there's any secrets to lighting fires. It's just all about layering the small stuff on the bottom, bigger stuff on top. That's about as basic as it is, and you'll have a good fire. I guess the other thing is you don't want to overload it. There's quite a bit of wood on here, but there's lots of room for air and stuff to get through. Once that's burning and the fire's really hot, then I'll start putting some bigger stuff on. Still working up to bigger pieces last. I'd like to get a good coal base going for what I'm cooking tonight. Quite keen to show you that. I'm going to be honest with you, no matter how many times I set this stretcher up, I always make it look really awkward. I love it, but it can be awkward. There we go. Fire's burning down nicely now, and we're all set up. It's about a 20-minute setup. I'll probably put up a hell of a lot more than I need to for one night, but I'm quite happy to, just to be comfortable. So I've got two of the walls up on the 30-second awning, a couple of the legs down. I'm sleeping in my Calkine big boy swag with the stretcher. I've forgotten my pillow. I never roll my pillow up in the swag. All the bedding stays in there, but the pillow goes separately because otherwise they get really flattened out. I've got a jumper, so I'll just bunch that up and sleep on that tonight. I'll be sweet. And Percy's in his new 23-0 Wolf Den. To be honest with you, this thing, it's the same principle as their regular 23-0 swags. It's quite heavy, all those steel poles. It's quite fiddly to set up, and it probably takes longer than my swag and stretcher combined. And I mean, my swag, well, my swag's easy, but my stretcher's a little bit fiddly, as you saw. Yeah, still not quite sure about this thing, but Percy likes it. Didn't even come with a mattress, which is a bit of a shame. But you like it, don't you, Pooch? Yeah. Righto, it's definitely beer time. Let's do it. Got a couple of Campus brewing beers. I'm really enjoying this stuff. It's that's the microbrewery that I get my kegs filled at, and they do heaps of nice craft beers and a couple of nice sort of lagers. Like they do a Western Draft, which is similar to, I don't know, like your Emu Export or your Carlton or any other sort of macro lager or macro draft. Well, that's quite a heavy hitter. Double IPA, 8.5%. That might be, I might start with a bush chook until I got some dinner in my belly. I've also got a nice red IPA, which is really nice. Coming into winter, I love not real dark beers, but yeah, certainly like a red IPA. Not stouts or anything like that. So tonight for dinner, I thought I might butcher a Greek cuisine. So I'm going to do gyros, which is basically nothing like what I'm about to cook. Gyros is like stacked meat. They often use lamb and chicken. They'll layer it, like really fatty cuts on a skewer, and it will be cooked on a rotisserie over coals or something like that, and then the meat is shaved off. So similar to like a doner kebab. I'm going to do something a little bit like that, but I'm not going to layer meat. I'm just going to use lamb. So I've been marinating a little bit of lamb shoulder in this stuff. It's a Mac Bros seasoning. This stuff smells really good. I haven't actually used it yet, but I'm going to give that a crack. What do I need? Lots of stuff. I didn't put the swag in the best position here for cooking, actually. So it's just, I've cubed up some boneless lamb shoulder for a couple of hours. It's been marinating in that Mac Bros rub. So we're going to get that onto my rotisserie first, because this is shoulder. It's supposed to cook for, you know, over 2 or 3 hours. It's not something you want to cook hard and fast because there's not a lot of fat in it. Although I have left the fat cap on it, so I'm hoping that renders out. So I'm going to cook this over the coals that are burning down now. Again, I've forgotten to bring I did this last time, I'm sure. I forgot to bring the motor for this rotisserie to spin it, so I'm going to have to spin it manually, but that's no drama. Cool. I think this might actually work. Let's get it on. Cool. I'm going to leave that real high to begin with. Because yeah, I want this to cook for a couple of hours. So that's as high as it'll go right now. And the heat feels pretty good. It's hot, but it's not hot. If that makes any sense. I'm pretty happy with that. So as the fire dies down, I'm going to drop that lower and lower anyway. And I'll keep giving it a bit of a spin. Now, in the meantime, it's going to go into some flat pita bread things like those. And with that, I want to make a tzatziki. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing all this stuff horribly wrong. Some Greek person's probably very offended right now. But I love your food, so don't be offended. I'm going to make some tzatziki for the bottom of the pita breads, and then on top, I want to put some chimichurri, which I've never made before, but I really like that herby kind of oily, saucy stuff. So chimichurri. It's not Greek, it's Argentinian, I'm pretty sure. But I think all the herbs and spices and stuff will go well with this lamb, so that's what we're going to do, regardless of origin. So I'm absolutely copying a recipe. I don't remember all this stuff off the top of my head. I've made tzatziki before, but I am definitely using a recipe at the moment. So cucumber, obviously, that's a no-brainer. I know this kind of stuff is like, it's not hard, but it's very complicated for camp cooking. And it's not because I'm trying to be like fancy or anything like that. It's just genuinely because I quite enjoy cooking and I enjoy camping. So this is sort of what I do to pass time when I go camping, especially if I'm camping solo, which I do quite enjoy. I know that's not for everyone, but yeah, I'm my own best company. I think if you do want to camp solo, if you want to give it a go yourself, bringing your dog definitely helps. Just to have a bit of companionship and someone to talk to so you don't feel crazy. Maybe that's why I find it easy to camp solo while I'm filming stuff, because I'm talking to the camera. Maybe that's a part of it, I don't know. Anyway, that's enough cucumber. What else are we going to need? Salt. Good amount of salt. Tablespoon of fresh lemon. Roughly. Well, it's really roughly cut. That was garlic, just one clove. It was a big clove. Tablespoon of olive oil. That's a big tablespoon. Tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Oh, a teaspoon. Yeah, because we've already got the lemon in there, so we don't need much of that. That'll do. Good amount of dill there, teaspoon or so. And some parsley. Rough as guts. But that'll do. Right. I can hear that meat sizzling, so it might be a little bit close to the fire. I'm going to pull it back a bit. That's good. A bit more salt. That's good. Beautiful. So that's going to go on the bottom of the pittas. Sliced lamb's going to go on top. And then on top of that is my chimichurri, which I'm going to make now. So I can go back in the fridge. And I don't know why I put the swag there. It was stupid. Half a cup of good virgin olive oil. 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. Lucky the girls aren't here. There is no way Chloe and Tiff would be kissing me after eating this. I reckon even the flying insects are bloody scared off from all the garlic, actually. They've all buggered off. Normally with a white light on, there'd be bugs everywhere. I'm going to have to leave pretty early tomorrow morning because I'm going to go test drive a new car. I don't think I've told you yet. Well, I think I've told you that I'm looking at a new car to replace the D-Max with for our trip in 2025. But I might not have told you exactly what I've narrowed our choices down to. So you might have heard me previously talk about the next gen Ranger. Definitely been looking at the next gen Ranger. I've also been looking at a Y62 Patrol, the big petrol V8. I've got a few mates with those, and Tiff and I actually test drove our mate Kim's one that you would have seen in like a big rundown sort of episode I did a while back. So the Y62's a potential candidate. And then the last one is the 300 series LANDCRUISER. Now, to be honest with you, I kind of discounted the 300 series LANDCRUISER because I thought there was huge lead times on them, and I thought they were really expensive, but when I've actually had a look at the model that I would want, it's the bottom model anyway, the GX, and they're only around, they're about $100,000, which is similar to the Y62 Patrol. That's around 90 here in Perth from the quotes that I've got. It's going to be different around the country, so don't yell at me. And so the next gen range is like 75, but the thing with the Ranger is I'm going to have to either put this canopy on it, and then that means selling this car for 30 or 40 grand or less, because a lot of the value in this car is the canopy, as you can imagine. Or it means buying a new canopy to go onto the next gen Ranger, which is going to cost me 30 or 40 grand to get something like this. So even the next gen Ranger is going to be around 100 grand. So 100 grand seems to be around the mark for what I want to do. I could certainly do it with less. I could take this car around and just strip weight. But we want to, you know, we're in a position where we want to get a new vehicle for the lap. That's just where we're at. Couple of cloves of garlic there. So yeah, I'm test driving 300 series tomorrow. I've already test driven the Y62 and we're really impressed with that. I'm going to do a video on this, I reckon. Like similar to what we did with the Caravan when we chose the van. I did a video beforehand talking about which ones we were looking at and why. So we'll do that again. So I'll have to leave early for that because I've got to get home and have a shower. I'm going to put a chili in this. It's not a hot one, it's a big red one. This is going to be pretty chunky. I'm not too worried about it being really fine. Seeds and all. Good hunk of oregano in there. Good bit of salt, good bit of pepper, and a heap of parsley. Like most of that. See what that looks like, but probably all of that. Yeah. Beautiful. And that's it for prep. We're just going to cook this meat. Loving these new lights. These were an idea that I pinched from Pete, WA, there's another one there, WA Camping Adventures channel. And they are what's the brand? Hardcore Lighting. And they come in a 4-pack that all fits in this case, and they've got a really nifty charger. If I can get it out one-handed. I can. It's a single USB-A plug-in, and then it's got 4 tails, so you can charge all 4 at a time, which I thought was really handy because, as you know, USB ports are sometimes at a premium, especially if you've got a bit of camera gear and stuff like that. They're magnetic. They've got a, let me pull one off for you. Obviously this is an aluminium awning, so the magnet's not working here. But that's magnetic on the back there. And then they've also got this little stretchy bungee cord here, so you can wrap them around awning poles or, you know, like I have there. Come with a few settings. What do? They're waterproof as well. So it's bright, a little bit less bright, even less bright. Orange for bugs, which is cool. And then flashing orange, which you'll never use. Yeah, really nice. It got an onboard battery, and I think they last 4 hours on high, 6 hours on low. That's what they suggest. This is the first time I've ever used them. But yeah, really like them. Nice little light. Going to be really handy to have around camp. I love a good light. Right, pretty happy with that. I reckon that's done. It's been on for probably an hour and 45, nearly 2 hours. wasn't quite sure if this was going to work out, but looking at that, that's like probably medium. Yeah, I'd say medium. That smells amazing. All right, let's get into it. A little bit of tzatziki first. Some lamb with the macro seasoning. A little bit of red onion, some feta, and some chimichurri on top. Oh, this looks so good. Delicious. So disorganised for this trip. Not only have I realised I didn't bring a pillow for the swag last night, somehow I've forgotten to bring coffee stuff, which is crazy for me because I never forget. That's normally like beer and then coffee are like the top two priorities, but yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle moving this morning without caffeine. I've got some breakfast with Percy, so I'll feed him. And then, like I said, I'm gonna do a pretty quick pack up this morning, quite early, get out of here, and I'm gonna go meet Tiff at home, pick her up, have a shower because I stink like garlic, and we'll head off and test drive this 300 series. I'll show you some footage of that when we get to the dealer. Right, you hungry, Percy? Of course you are. Forget. Get off. Sit down. Wait. Good boy. Up.
So you can't cross-change wheels between one model to the other. Of course, you need the brakes?
Yeah.
You should do.
Alright.
You should do. The park brake, yep.
Okay.
Insurance are trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
So they're going to look at every single thing that they can not to pay you.
Absolutely.
And if you're 5 kilos over, they'll say, well, you went